Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Dark Pictures Anthology Man of Medan blind playthrough, and this is...
What? What?
There's something in here with us. Didn't you? Did you hear anything?
just you screaming.
I know I saw something. It was moving in the shadows.
Rats. Probably just rats. That's all it was.
Don't fucking laugh at me.
Who's... I realize that she's scared, but...
Alright, we've been here before. I'm sure of it. We're going around in circles.
Well, what do you want to do? Turn around?
We've seen all this before.
I know I started a thought earlier, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
Did I get through the
This
presentation?
isn't working for me.
What?
Gross
Oh.
caskets and crappy chapels.
Is
Not my
this
scene, you know?
3A?
You're right. It's gross and it's crappy. Gotta get out of here toot sweet.
Okay, so can we just get the fuck out then? What is this?
These are the coffins. Well, probably shouldn't,
That's weird.
but I have to.
All this. Hey, we got a name on this guy.
Who cares where they're from or where they're going? They're dead and we're not, so let's keep it that way.
Ooh, secret found. Siamese twins?
Look at this. It's insane. Is it even human? I mean, was it ever human?
What is the deal with this place? Okay, leave. Now. Leave, leave, leave!
Got some serious locks in these caskets.
Why would they be chained and locked?
To not move around?
Look at this one. Like for a kid or something.
I don't want to know. Let's get out of here. Will you please hurry? Please?
Okay, okay.
What's the matter? What is it?
Look!
Seriously? Are you trying to freak me out?
Huh?
Can we just get out of here?
That is a pixelated vase, but we all know it was a skull. Or a head. When it fell down. Sick bay.
Can we please hurry? I'm done sightseeing.
Yes, I am trying. And also, while we're having this cozy time together,
What the hell is making that sound?
What sound?
Why so
during
thick
my
this bang?
or lately I've been playing. I said that I played for Ghost Runner, which I did, and before that I also played through
Fuck!
Hey, this is no time to be fucking around. I'm serious. I can't take it.
played through Elden Ring, the latest and greatest game from
Don't touch it! Why did you touch it?
the latest and greatest game from Software. The lovely people who gave us the Dark Souls series, Bloodborne, Sekiro. I'm guessing everyone knows which game I am talking about, and I spent 90 hours in the lands between going for the platinum, which I managed to unlock in the end. After a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. But what a great game it was. Oh dear God, I loved
Looks like he died of fright. You can't see that.
terrified corpse. A corpse whose face is frozen in an expression of terror. It looks almost as if they have been frightened to death. Oh dear shit. There's a lot of collectibles. Well, I'll pick up the ones I stumble across. I will not go out my way to find them. Yes, Elden Ring. I loved basically every minute I spent in that game.
This guy had
Electrocardiogram, patient Fred
routine,
Betts.
and then
Date of birth,
he died of a massive heart
7718.
attack.
Treatment,
Which is not
appendicitis.
clean at all.
But I must say, Elden Ring, not even Elden Ring is without flaws. The flaws are very minor in the grand scheme of things, but they still exist because a lot of reviewers are singing its constant praise, and I can understand that because you don't want to get on the bad end of the internet when it comes to that. But something I actually want to criticize in the games is basically just one thing, and that is related to bosses. Just hold on.
This does not look remotely safe.
Oh shit. What is that, Olsen? Because Elden Ring has...
Where are you taking me?
Now, why would I tell you?
Ah. I'll wait. Elden Ring has, I think it's 165 bosses in total, counting world bosses, main bosses, all the ones. Every enemy that has a life bar, more or less. Or a visible life bar. But only 45 of them are unique designs, so there is a lot of reuse of bosses. And
Hey! Back off!
I would have rather seen that they have put in a fewer ones. Because I always think it is a bit sad when they start rehashing, and like, don't get me wrong, I love the game. Out of the 90 hours this I spent in it, this is basically my only complaint, that there was a lot of reuses, and I'm talking straight up reuses, exact same boss, not even a reskin. Just straight up, you meet face off as the very same boss once again. All they do is buff up the health bar. Which I think is a bit sad, because it gives you a sense of laziness. And the designers behind that game have been anything but lazy. It was an amazing world. All the areas had their own traits. Everything, like, it was great. Almost every aspect of the game except for that. And also, of course, Millennia. Fuck that chick.
All right,
No.
come out! Show yourself!
Millennia was a great boss design, but she was tough as nails. That is by far the toughest FromSoft boss I've ever faced off against. And I don't know if I died more times to her than I did to Great Allfather first time playing through Sekiro. I do know that I died against him.
Look at this.
Man of Medan. 25 times or thereabouts. And when it comes to Millennia, it was probably up around that as well. That is the first boss, and I'm almost a little ashamed to admit this. That is the first time in my From Software history where I've had to actually respec my character. Twice even. And for anyone who doesn't know what a respec is, holy crap. In that game, there is a character you can go to, an NPC, which will allow you to move your stat points. So you can change the build of your character. Like if you're maybe like playing a melee character, very prone toward close combat, strength build, you want to move your stats so you become a mage instead, or rogue-esque.
That guy's probably still right here with us.
So that character allows you to do that.
You die on a ship. You go
Like move all the skill points you have accumulated in and shift them around as you please. And I had to respec, as I said, twice. Because first I went for a pretty straight bleed build. Still close encounter, because I knew that she is very weak to bleed.
I don't know what the fuck this is all about.
Didn't work, did God knows how many tries. So I respec again to somewhere in between like bleed and distance. A little more focus on like being able to throw both doing like bleed damage and also casting magic. There is a magic called Swarm of Flies, or something along those lines, where you cast a swarm. That was a hand on the left side of the screen, which builds up bleed, and that looks like a premonition painting. So I'm gonna check that out no matter what he says. You ass! Okay.
Keep moving.
Yeah. And eventually, in the end, I did manage to take her down. It took very many tries. I was very fed up with the fight afterwards. And it's quite interesting because she has some interesting traits. She has an attack that anyone who plays the game and anyone who has seen footage of the fight probably knows, and anyone who has played it fears it. And that is the waterfowl dance. Because the thing with Millennia is that when she hits you, no matter if you block or not, as long as her attack makes contact with your hitbox, she regains health. And she is also very aggressive. I find it quite interesting because I resort trying to watch tip videos. Now let's see. Could that be the Man of Medan? Perhaps. Now where was I? Yes, she regains health. And the thing is, when you watch videos on the internet, I don't know if it's just a different perspective when you're playing yourself and watching someone else. I am willing to swear that she was a lot more aggressive when I faced off against her than she was in all the YouTube videos I saw. I even tried calling in help from others. And, well, in the end, what worked was trying to stay back and just spamming the Swarm of Flies magic and eventually get her down. It was one of those moments where I failed and tried again so many times. There was not even a sense of, you know, anyone who has played a Souls game, you get that sense of accomplishment. That's what I think drives most of us fans. the sense of accomplishment you get when you defeat a very hard boss or obstacle or... Okay, let me try again. But with her, it was just like nothing. I was dead inside. Being all melodramatic. But yeah, that was basically what I felt. It was just like,
Hello?
it's done.
Is anyone there?
Finally. Can I please move on to anything else? And never face off against her again. And of course it's gone. Why wouldn't it be? And also another little point of critique. This is also a point I took up in my Sekiro guide. The final boss is a double boss fight. First you face off against one, and then you face off against another. And these two bosses are completely different. And of course, if you die on the second one, you have to replay the first one. And that is a mechanic I am not a fan of. I have never liked it because the first boss in the end just becomes a roadblock and it kills the fun of the fight.
Jesus. What happened down
I think. Because you might become very good at part 1, but you have to go through it every time. Charles T. Perez. A lot of numbers. Rex Perez. Blah blah blah. Peace Boulevard. Whatever. You need to go get past that boss every time you want to practice the second one. And it sucks out a lot of the fun. As I said. But these... Shit. But these are just minor gripes. I highly recommend the game. It's basically... I would say it's a 9 out of 10. The things that take it down from 10 are the two things that I mentioned. Like reuse of bosses.
Buck up, you motherfucker.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's basically it. The reuse of bosses. And of course, a lot of those bosses are not mandatory.
Alright, buck up.
I don't think there ever is like a reuse when it comes to mandatory bosses. No, there isn't. But I would highly recommend, if you're thinking of playing the game and haven't yet, I would highly recommend that you go around, take out as many world bosses as possible, because that is a great way of building or of getting experience points, which will allow you to get skill points in the end. So you don't have to like grind normal enemies as much. I never felt that is a great thing about all those world bosses that I've just whined about, is that I never felt like I was grinding throughout the entire game, because since I was searching for them, it wasn't just a slog going through normal peons over and over again, but okay. Who was wailing?
Hello? Who's there? This can't be good.
But yes, I highly recommend it. I loved it, and someday I will replay it. Not just now, because after 90 hours I felt it was the right time to move on to new games, new projects. It was just on the verge where everything felt like, yep, this is a great time to end this. And on the subject of ending this, I am I'm gonna explore what's on top of these stairs, but I'm gonna do it in the next episode. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.